Hello students, we have already shared the PDF for two practicals and one out of which is the stable multivibrator, the other is Wein-Bridge oscillator. In case of the multivibrator, actually you have already studied in theory. I don't know whether it is completed or not, but what is a multivibrator and how many types of multivibrators are there that you know. Now there are three basic types or main types like monostable, astable and bistable multivibrator. What is the meaning of this mono, astable and bi? I hope you know it clearly. Mono means single quasi-stable state. Astable means there is no any stable state. And bi stands for two. So there are two stable states. Actually all these experiments are there in your syllabus. But because of this type of online situation, at least you should know how we go for performing at least one type of multivibrator that we will try with astable multivibrator. Now, in the PDF itself, you are given the diagram of the astable multivibrator. In that, you can see that there are two transistors. I mean, you can call anything Q1, Q2 or P1, P2 to that. And up to this stage, up to SY stage, you have studied the use of transistor. Here we are using the transistor in terms of switch also, because we will consider one on state and one off state of the transistor. These two transistors are connected to each other in such a way that base of one transistor is connected to the collector of the other transistor and vice versa. I'll show you all these things in the diagram itself. See here, this is one transistor, this is the other. So this is the base which is connected to collector of this transistor, and base of this transistor is connected to collector of this transistor. Now you can clearly see that this is VCC, means the supply which we are providing. We are given the RC, I mean the resistors, capacitors to the particular combination. This is RB, means the collector across, the resistor across the base. It is connected to Q2. And this is RB, again RB, but that is connected to Q1. Now, when we consider the working of the transistor, basically you should know that any transistor which is in the on state, there is a low voltage across its collector, and if the transistor is in off state, there is the high voltage across its collector. The reason is that suppose transistor Q1 is on. If it is on, then what will happen? This path will be completed. So the voltage, I mean there is a path for the VCC to go to ground. It will go like this, and during its path the charging of the capacitor will take place. That is the situation. Suppose this is off. These two transistors are connected with the resistor, capacitor with respect to VCC. Now when any transistor is on, suppose Q1 is on, then what happens? This whole path is completed and VCC can go to ground through this path. Because of that, the transistor, across the collector of the transistor, there is low voltage. And suppose this is off. If it is off, then you can understand that this path is not completed, and whatever voltage arises, that remains here, so it is high. This is the situation. The whole working of this astable multivibrator is based on this concept only, that when this is on, what you can see is that the charging or discharging of this capacitor and this capacitor. When this is off, exactly in the opposite situation, the charging and discharging goes. Now, after one situation, means after switch on and switch off situation of these transistors, in the vice versa situation, what happens is, as the collector goes on charging, this situation becomes reverse bias. This is the base emitter junction, and because of that, after that the state changes, and this thing is repeated again and again. Now what we are doing in this experiment is, the circuit is provided, and we are connecting these capacitors of different values. Whenever the value of capacitor changes, definitely the charging discharging time and the output voltage, I mean the frequency across the output voltage changes, and that only we are going to determine. Now what happens is, when we consider this particular circuit in the actual circuit, I'll show you in the actual circuit. See, in this circuit we are providing VCC. This is 6 volt. This is the positive of the 6 volt terminal. This is the negative. So we have provided with VCC as 6 volt. These resistors are already connected. These resistors are also connected, means fixed values are there. This Q1 and Q2 are the transistors. So these are two transistors, what I was talking about, switching on and off condition. Now this capacitor and this capacitor we have connected. I mean this is removable. We can remove and change the value of the capacitor. When the value of the capacitor will be changed, what will happen? Its charging discharging time will change, and across the output the frequency also will change. Now I'll show you the waveform here. This is the output waveform and this is the capacitor waveform. For getting the output waveform, what we have done is, this is our CRO probe. So we have given the ground over here, and across this collector we have given the output of this. Now see here, the on and off state of the transistor is shown by this. I mean this is one state, this is the other state. Here the voltage is low and here the voltage is high. I hope you now remember that when voltage is high, this is the off state of the transistor. When voltage is low, this is the on state, and these things are continued. See here, if I change this time base, then you can see the situation in a different manner. Last year you have studied the CRO and many experiments on the CRO, so you can understand that situation. Now this lower waveform is the capacitor waveform. See here, this is the capacitor waveform, and it exactly matches with the on state and off state of the transistor. This is charging and this is discharging. So charging, discharging, this is also continuous. If I change the time base, according to this the capacitor waveform also changes. I will also show you in comparison with one output and the other output. And for that, what I will do is, instead of capacitor, I'll connect this also to the output of the transistor. Now see here, this is one transistor, this is the other, means output across one transistor, output across the other transistor. Here very clearly you can see, when this is off, this is on, when this is off, this is on. So these things can show you this particular situation, on-off situation in the continuous manner. Now if we go again for the capacitor and the output, as we were earlier discussing, see here, this is the capacitor. Now what we are doing with this particular situation, as I showed you, when the capacitor is changed, the time will be changing, and I hope you remember how to determine the frequency on the CRO. See here, this is the central line, this is the central line, which you can consider like similar to x-axis, and I mean y-axis, and this is the x-axis. So here, time from this point to this point, this is the total time period, that is capital T, and when we take the reciprocal of this capital T, what we will get is the frequency. Now in this situation, when we go for the formula, that will be in terms of R, B, C and all that, you can try to match, I mean that is only the part of the experiment, that we can try to match the calculated value and the observed value. Observed value will be this is total time, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.2 multiplied by this 0.2. This 0.2 is in milliseconds. So 4.2 into 0.2 milliseconds. Milli means 10 raised to minus 3, and then we will take the reciprocal of that. So that will be the frequency. Now when we want to verify whether this observed value is correct or not, what we can do is, we can go for the calculated value. See here, in situation we can calculate T as T off plus T on. and this T will be 0.7 Rb2C2 plus 0.7 Rb1C1. Or when we collectively go for that, if we consider C1 and C2 of same value and R1 and R2 for the same, then what you go for is the calculated value. So here we have to go with different RB or C values, but our RB is fixed, so what we will do is we'll go with different C values, and accordingly we can calculate time period, and we can try to see whether it is matching with the observed time period or not. So this experiment will be performed for the particular number of capacitors. Now there is a concept of rise time. This rise time we can determine from the waveform of charging and discharging. Now when we will go for charging this type of waveforms, or charging and discharging waveforms, see here, this is 100% and this is 0%. What is rise time? Rise time is the time required to raise or increase the 10% to 90%. So on the graph paper we can draw this, then we can take the 10% of this whole and we can take the 90% of this whole. Accordingly, we can draw this type of two vertical lines, and this time difference will be multiplied by this base, time base, that will be again in milliseconds, and that will be your rise time. So in this situation, in the astable type of multivibrator, what we can do is, with the help of different capacitors, we can see whether the capacitor values affect on the output, how the frequency changes, how the rise time changes, and in that situation, since these things are alternately on off, or since these things are not stable, this is the experiment which provides us the state of astable, or stage of not any quasi-stable state. So this is what we can try to understand for the astable multivibrator. Similarly, when we go for bistable, you can see that it requires the external voltage also, and there will be two stable states, but for monostable there is a single stable state. So you can comparatively study all the three multivibrators. This is just the glimpse how we can go for the experiment. Unless you perform it on your own, I know you will not be able to go for 100% understanding, but at least you go through the PDF and this video. I hope you will at least understand some part of this particular experiment. Thank you.